Sorry for that. I hope all of you are able to hear me now. See, let's understand today about how our brain grooves function. To understand this, we need to go deeper into understanding what is exactly happening in our brain. Like right now, as you are watching this video, there is some information that is getting passed by your brain, which is getting passed to your eyes, saying it to blink. Same way, the light that's entering inside your eye and it's going inside your retina and then going to your brain. And there is a process that's happening again, which is giving you the information that you are seeing this. These are getting transmitted in the form of electrical impulses. How many of you here have certain habits that you wish to change? You have decided a few times, but you notice that you find it a lot difficult. You go on repeating it again and again. I mean, all of us have certain habits here. What's exactly happening? For this, we need to understand about these concept called as brain grooves. What's happening inside our brain? Every single time you do a particular task, only first few times you do it consciously. After that, the signals in our brain, the very strong connection that's established between two neurons. Neurons, the nerve cells in your brain, and these neurons interact through these electrical impulses. That's how you receive an information for your muscles to enact. For example, when I'm talking right now, if my hands are moving or my eyes are blinking or my mouth is moving in a certain way, it's happening because of these electrical impulses that are getting transmitted from our brain to our muscles. Now, every time we cherish a same thought current, the neural pathway, meaning the nerve cells which are transmitting this electrical impulses, get strengthened. So let's say, for example, now, okay, we have a lot of you that are here, Megan Adams and Ari Books and Ivana Grebner. I see many of you that are logging in right now. Now, let's say Ivana Grebner, you are deciding that you started a practice of waking up early in the morning. You may start it as a conscious practice for the first few days. And once this becomes like a habit for you, it becomes on its own. It just starts happening on its own. For example, every time you go and brush your teeth, you're not going to be conscious of how exactly you're brushing your teeth. Right? We are not conscious of it. Same way, you get into your car, you sit in your car. If you are driving to your office, you just get into your car. After that, your mind is somewhere else, but your body automatically drives the car to that particular place. Now, how is this happening? What's exactly the way how these habits are happening inside us? To understand this is what you need to understand about these brain grooves, because the brain grooves inside of you are getting strengthened again and again every time you do a particular action. How many of you are understanding this? Because these brain grooves that are there inside of us are being studied upon by the scientists in the field called as neuroplasticity. This is a field study which also establishes how your brain grooves can actually be rewired. Your brain can be rewired. So now we are going to be, today we are going to take some time and we are going to be understanding deeper about this. And we are also going to understand what can transform the way your cognition functions, how your actions can be changed, your habits can be changed, and how your brain can be rewired so that you can have a super conscious brain in you. So that's what we are going to be learning about today. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask us. You can post it in the YouTube comment section. And we will also be doing a short session where we will be scanning your body. So stay tuned for that also. So now first, this brain grooves, the highest brain grooves can be awakened inside of you. It is possible to awaken these brain grooves. Now, let's understand how Paramashiva awakens this for us.
Universe word is too small, whether universe or multiverse, all these words are too small. Prapancha is also too small. Paramashiva is the only word I can use because that is the ultimate word. No other word can be used even to describe Paramashiva. Understand? The KAILASA knowledge, Paramashiva Jnana, is principles. When that comes to Sanskrit, it becomes concepts. When that comes to English, it becomes long sentences. That is what I am explaining, I am expressing. Please understand, meditate on this. Meditate on this Paramashiva Jnana. You will manifest Paramashiva Vijnana. Understand? Meditating on this trains your brain, awakens the most subtle brain grooves for me to infuse Kundalini in you. See, when that subtle brain grooves are created through this meditation, see, when you do Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana, means concentrating, centering, and oneness with these concepts and visualizations I presented to you. When you do that, I can pour Kundalini in you and put you in Samadhi. Then, naturally, simply Paramashiva manifests in you. Understand? I am requesting you to meditate on these principles, on this truth, so the vessel is created. I can pour the Kundalini Shakti in it.
Here, Swamiji revealed a very important truth. Do you know, every time you listen to a certain cognition, every time you strengthen a certain belief in you, your brain creates a new groove, a new neural pathway, and every time you go through that same emotion, you strengthen that pathway, you strengthen that neural pathway. There's a very beautiful scientific study that was performed where it establishes clearly how certain engrams, every engram that you create, each time you create something, each time you react in a certain way. For example, let's say you get angry over something. Each time you react a certain way, we strengthen that pathway, the power of that pathway. It's called synapses in science. So let's say, for example, you get the pattern of becoming addicted to something. It is not that the first time you take it, you become addicted to it. Understand, The first time, let's say you pick up a cup of coffee and you drink it, it's just an action that you're doing. Excuse me, sorry. It's just an action that you're doing. Now, the same thing, when you repeat it, second day, third day, fourth day, the brain establishes a neural pathway, a connection, a synapse. So by the time you do it, second week, third week, fourth week, 1 month, and that is it. You have a synapse, a strong neural pathway that's established. So even without your conscious decision of having to get up, go reach out to the cup of coffee and drink it, your brain automatically triggers that neuron, and every time you get up, your body automatically reaches out to coffee. This is how addictions are formed. Now, why are we talking about this? Understand, just the same way as addictions are formed in you, so can you form most powerful patterns, some things that can change the way you interact with life. You can rewire your brain for success. Let's say you're struggling with smoking, you're struggling with drinking, or you're struggling with anger issues, you're struggling with certain patterns that you really want to get over. You have the power to change it in the most simplest of ways. Most of us spend time trying to work on our minds, right? We try to say, oh, okay, let me try to see what it is, let me try to dissect, analyze, let me understand, let me motivate, let me inspire myself. But please understand, all of these are very temporary, because as long as you don't establish an action with consistency, as long as you don't do something consistently, your brain keeps strengthening the same old habits again and again and again. So that neural pathway is strengthened. Now, that can be the bad news, but we also have a good news for you. Just like how you created a pattern, drinking coffee, smoking, anger issues, or reacting to certain things a certain way, or becoming very emotional over things, all of these you were not born with it. You were not born with these addictions, or you were not born with these patterns. You built it over time. You have the power to change it. The same you that automatically or uncontrollably has to reach out to pick up that cigarette and smoke, that same you has the power, just with the conscious decision, to drop the cigarette as well. But what is it that plays that important role there? Here, we're not going to talk about your thought patterns. We are going to talk about something physical. Your brain had physically already established a connection using which every time it automatically sends a signal for you to reach out to pick up the cigarette and smoke. Now, you can discard that pattern by creating another positive pattern. For example, let's say every time you feel like smoking, that you have to go and pick up that smoking, you can create consciously a positive pattern. How do you do that? And how does that help? We are going to be sharing that secret technique that Swamiji has given with you all. And stay tuned till the end. And before that, I just wanted to ask all the viewers one question. Is there something that you want to break? A pattern? Let's say, for example, you really face a certain kind of an addiction or certain kind of a pattern that you're unable to break. You've been struggling. Like, for example, it can be something as simple as addicted to coffee, or every morning you have to go and you have to start your day with a cup of coffee, else you will not be able to handle your day. Or just someone does not respond to you the way you like, and that is enough to trigger you and disrupt your whole day. How many of you are able to identify such patterns that disturb your daily life? I request all of you to take a minute to post it in the comment section. If you have any such patterns that you really want to know the technique of how you can break, that you really want to break and that you really want to get over. Okay, Ari Burks is posted that I'm waiting. Okay. How many of you have these type of patterns? And what are those patterns? If you're comfortable to share, you can even share it. Because you know what? By the end of this video, you're not going to be learning about some meditation for you to do. You're not going to be learning about some big thing for you to think through. You're going to learn one simple, powerful technique that can help transform even the biggest of addictions or the biggest of patterns that you struggle with. It's a very powerful technique that Swamiji has given. But before we know that, but before we understand that, let us first understand why is it important for us to rewire our brain. Most of us spend time on working on our mind, working on our cognitions, but there's something much more simpler, much more efficient, and much more powerful that you can do. So let us now listen to what Swamiji has to say about working on the mind.
I'll just finish the whole thing in 2-3 statements. You are a hardware, this body, and thus there is a software, the programming which operates this body. There is an electricity connection. Now, the software with which you were operating and the electricity, these two is completely screwed up. That is when the hardware also started getting destroyed. I am doing two things. One, again and again putting the powerful software. See, every powerful cognition I am giving you. When I say this static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence is one and the same. And immediately, till you get into your old stupid screwed software, you will not have doubt. For a few minutes, because of my face value, I think this fellow must be telling only for my good. Some reason, it will be there as alive memory. Those few minutes when you decide to use that as your software, my superconsciousness, my electricity connects with you. Not the regular electricity with which you are working, bioenergy. No, Sadashiva's bioenergy, who gave me the experience and authority to transmit this experience, his bioenergy just enters into you. Once you start seeing that moving, you will feel, oh God, I think this fellow is right. Once 21 times you move, then this software cannot be taken out of your software. How many of you are understanding what I am saying? Understand? That's all is the whole game. It's all, see, the whole program is nothing but, I want to give you some 60-70 powerful cognitions. You are the consciousness, you cannot be killed. See, all the books Hinduism has 2 crore source books. All of you need to know. Hinduism has 2 crore source books. Hinduism has 2 crore source books. The whole 2 crore source book. And we have more than 1 crore temples. And almost billion followers. And at least I can say 10 million enlightened beings have lived on the planet Earth because of Hinduism. People who become enlightened because of Hinduism. And the chain is still alive, a living stream of Hinduism. Essence of all this is the 70 powerful cognitions. That's all. Once the 70 powerful cognition starts operating in you, you are the consciousness. These are all the side effects of the remaining. Listen carefully. When you understand you are the consciousness and you declare that as your powerful cognition, hey, I am the consciousness. So, my ups, downs, mood swings, ideas, identities, which comes and goes, none of this can be my real cognition. As a side effect, many of the disturbed, screwed up software stops working. Means they all get slowly deleted. The whole Hinduism or the spiritual science in the world is this only. 60 to 70 roughly powerful cognitions should manifest in you as powers, not just intellectually. If you just get intellectually, you will never believe. It is like a working on the mind. Working on the mind is equivalent to trying to change your spouse. Try. Working on the mind is waste of time. I am telling you. If you have been working on mind, or gurus who are teaching you to work on your mind and you are doing that, please be informed, you will end up only in frustration. I have seen enough of fellows working on mind. I have seen enough of fellows working on the mind. It's a failure. Be very clear. Because mind is non-existent screenplay of the hormones and chemicals in the body. Understand, when Buddha says nothing exists, he talks about mind only, not about the consciousness. One young brahmachari goes to a very senior 90-year-old monk and asks, "Oh Swami, how long it takes to control the mind?" He says, "I do not know how long, but till 90 it doesn't happen." I am telling you, if you are working on Vedanta, if you are working on mind, that is what is the truth. See, Hinduism has only two traditions. Only two traditions. One works on consciousness, another one works on body. That's all. We never worked on mind because we know from the beginning it doesn't exist. Work on biology. Allow the superconsciousness to give a breakthrough. People ask me many times, "Oh Swamiji, in other ashrams, in other organizations, in other systems, we work for 5 years, 6 years to have a small experience. How come we are manifesting powers here? Is it all magic or is it really real? If you are working in the wrong direction, why will you not waste your life?" All working on mind is working on wrong direction. It's like you can go to Bangalore this way or this way. If you go this way, you will come after 25 years, rounding the whole earth. If you go this way, you will come in 25 minutes, that's all. Working on the mind is going this way. Working on the body is the real thing. Now, even when I give you powerful cognitions, I am not working on your mind, I am working on your consciousness. I am agitating your consciousness, that's the right word. I am just making you ferocious, making you understand the mind is the chain. One beautiful thing, if you start tasting freedom of one powerful cognition in reality, like a few powers, suddenly the taste for that powers makes you ferocious and you start breaking the patterns. You even start forgetting you had addictions. Sometimes not only you walk out of addictions, you forget you had addictions. You had those problems. So the whole gist is, again and again inserting powerful cognitions. Even while you are dealing in your day-to-day life, before dealing it, insert a powerful cognition. I am consciousness. I have a superiority over everything exists around me. Everything exists around me is my decision. It is not arrogance. Please understand, it's not arrogance. It's not arrogance. Insert that software and bring oneness. And I am giving you this consciousness, this cognition. If you do something right or wrong and all that, I am responsible, don't worry. You just go ahead. I am responsible. Start rolling your inner space with powerful cognitions. Once the power manifestation becomes like a lifestyle, like a flow of your very being, the kind of a inner image you will start cherishing, you will actually bless yourself. You will feel so happy to live in your body. You will feel so happy to live with you. You will feel so blessed to be who you are. End of the day, that is the result I wanted. Not just, see, all these are great, no doubt. But end result is that only. You feeling blessed with yourself. It's powerful cognitions, that's the result. Power manifestation is a side effect. Power manifestation is a side effect of powerful cognitions. That's all is the essence of the whole program. The essence of what I am doing, I have spoken.
Here, Swamiji revealed a very important fact, right? Working on the mind is just a waste of time because most of us do not know anything about the mind. And Hinduism has only two things: working on the body or working on the consciousness. I just wanted to tell Christ Seeker, I read your comment and I just wanted to tell you that Swamiji has given amazing techniques as that can help you walk out of these addictions. And do not worry, there is no addiction that is powerful than your conscious decision. Every time you feel attracted or wanting to go towards it, just tell yourself again and again, consciously, just create another pattern. I'll give you all a simple example. In Gurukul, we all used to do this, okay? Where whenever a kid feels angry or irritated towards something, the first thing the kid used to go and do is some kind of a physical activity. Like, for example, push-ups, and something like that, right? So each time a kid gets angry or irritated, immediately the friends around him or her would remind that person to go and do some physical activity. Something that was profound was every child who did it within a week or so completely stopped having any kind of anger or any kind of instant reactions through anger.
And not just this, every time we build a positive pattern inside of us, the new brain grooves start getting built in. Understand this can be easily applicable for you in your day-to-day life. You and your conscious will is extremely powerful. I see Karan Kulkarni, you're asking, is soul real? Yes. That's what Swamiji is saying as our consciousness. And our consciousness, if you have a will, if you have a will to exist, your consciousness has the power to transform anything. I also wanted to add, see, many times there are some addictions that is directly related to your liver. Your liver sends signals to make you addicted to something. So if you focus on detoxifying your liver, many a times these addictions by themselves start dropping. But unfortunately, this liver related toxins and the liver's impact on your addictions and the brain grooves that you've already built, both of these keep putting down each other. That is why when you are able to live the lifestyle of this sattvic lifestyle that Swamiji is giving, if you are able to live this lifestyle for 21 days straight, you will be completely de-addicted. And not just that, initiation from the Guru is so powerful. It can transform the very brain grooves inside of you and walk you out of any addiction that you are struggling with. So now let's understand about, see, whenever you are holding on to certain habits, certain patterns, now, and you are deciding, let's say, you want to come out of that, but you keep seeing, you keep falling back into this routine. First thing, first and foremost thing is never give up on yourself. First thing, decide strongly that you will persist. Try taking a decision for not more than 1 day. Like, for example, when let's say you are taking a new resolution saying, I'm going to stop drinking coffee. Just give me an example. Don't decide saying that I'm going to stop drinking coffee for next 2 months or 1 year. Never take a longer decision, like a decision that's going to impact a longer time. Because usually what starts happening inside us is we start getting overwhelmed because we are not able to visualize that long time frame. And then we get so overwhelmed by the decision and we think about failures, we put ourselves down and we think this is not going to be possible. How many of you can relate with this? That you have decided something, but because you are choosing a larger time frame, even by the time you finish deciding, you've already given up on it. So Swamiji gives a very easy technique. Take your conscious decision of whatever you want to do. Take that decision for the next 24 hours. Say in the next 24 hours, this is what I'm going to do. And even in that, if let's say you're slipping off from your decision, again realign. And once you start doing this, you will start having confidence in your own thinking, in your own decisions. Actually, there's a lot of inner working that needs to be done if you want your consciousness to be completely transformed. How many of you are understanding this? So far, if you are able to understand, please share. And even if you have some questions, please feel free to share. And Adit Katel, you're saying about our hairstyle. This is called as jatas. This is a very traditional hairstyle followed by the ancient Hindus. And this is how Paramashiva has. And Swamiji has given this as a lifestyle for us, also giving the scientific benefits of why you should wear that. So just sharing that you are, since you spoke about the hashtag, just wanted to share about this. So just let's understand this a little more deeper. Just you taking your individual will. But unfortunately, your individual will is loaded with your past pains, past failures. Now, how do we take a decision? When I say I'm going to decide, saying, okay, let me start doing workout and let me start doing this from now. And then I do it for 2 days. Again, the third time I fail. And if I keep repeating this, let's say even 4 or 5 times, the fifth time, my own self is going to mock at me, right? If I gave a very simple example as workout or yoga, but this applies in every single situation. You might have decided, today I want to be the most friendly person. I want to be the most compassionate person. And you start being like that, you start talking like that. And one phone call from your spouse whole thing is gone. Understand all these things sit inside us as failures and start mocking us inside us. Now, you need to come out of those voices that you have inside of you. You need to transform them. You need to come out of those pains, those sufferings. You need to complete. It's a very, very powerful technique Swamiji gives, which is called as the Purnatva Kriya, where you are guided step by step. How you have to look inside you. You need to complete, relive the incidents that have happened and how you can complete and come out of that pain and suffering. So if you are interested in this, we have a workshop. We have a 21-day program where you can learn this technique. The link is projected to you on the screen right now. Go ahead and sign up. Okay, I see a question from Shrikant Maturu. Was asking, Nithyananda Swamiji talked about 60 plus cognitions that have been empowering stages since ages. Can you shine some light on a few cognitions or these you acquire when you attain some realizations? Beautiful question. Shrikant ji, where are you from? Where are you logging in from? Will be nice to know more about you. Please share with us which country are you logging in from. And you're asking a very nice question about the powerful cognitions. See, there are actually many such powerful cognitions. Every scripture gives a very powerful introduction to you about you, and it empowers you from within. The Upanishads have the highest pure cognition about how existence is. Like how Bhagavan Krishna says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya rayate mahatorbhaya. Just practicing even little bit of the science makes you walk out of even greatest fears. Just cherishing these powerful cognitions inside of you. For example, when you are listening to the satsang, where Swamiji is revealing about how you are pure consciousness. I'll tell you from my experience. I joined the Gurukul when I was just 14 years old. And at that time, I was like a teenager outside, right? Like, and for me, I was never a spiritual person before meeting Swamiji. And after I joined Gurukul, these cognitions that Swamiji revealed completely transformed my life. I'll give you a few such examples that I have experienced. One very powerful cognition Swamiji has given us is how pain is a lie. And Swamiji has also taught how you can heal yourself. How because you're pure consciousness, and your body is its own independent intelligence, your body can heal itself. So what happened once, I had fallen off and like hurt my ankle was completely sprained, and I fell on the same ankle 3-4 times, and I fell from a slight height, so I think it got fractured. And first, I could not move my leg. My leg was swollen, and this happened in 2015. So my leg was swollen, and I could not move my leg. And immediately, the Gurukul, we have even the doctors that are there who immediately come and attend any issues you have. And so immediately the doctor there, she ran and came to me. She told like she helped me move my leg. And then one other kid was there, a Balasan, and she came and told me, "Hey, are you really going to take treatment for your leg?" Swamiji said, "Pain is a lie. Why don't you take a few minutes and focus on where your pain is starting?" Because that is what Swamiji had revealed in the satsang. So I was like, okay. And I told the doctor to not do any treatment. I told, just wait, give me time. I sat, my leg was swollen and I was not able to move. and the doctor said it is actually fractured. And I just focused on the pain. I was just trying to identify where the pain came from. And the pain completely disappeared. And I remembered Swamiji clearly told body has the ability to heal itself. So I told that I'm completely free of the pain. Doctor could, like, I mean, she was there. She was also a sannyasi. So it was not a shock for her. She said, okay, but like if any discomfort should happen, please let me know. Immediately I'll do the treatment. And I also said, okay. I started just with this one cognition. It's like Swamiji told, it will be, that's a reality. It will definitely get healed. And you won't believe, I did not have pain again after that amount ankle. That swelling on its own without any treatment. I was walking comfortably, I did yoga comfortably, I did running, everything comfortably with that same ankle. We actually walked to the temple and then we walked on from there, and it's a very beautiful lifestyle for us. So in the whole thing, not even once I experienced pain after that. And because of this cognition that body can heal itself, my ankle actually healed itself. I was able to move, I was able to dance, I would jump, I was able to run, everything I was able to do. So this is effect of one such powerful cognition. Like this, there are tons of powerful cognitions where just the cognition by itself, when you start cherishing it, like contemplating about it, your very physical body can transform, your being can transform. And you will start seeing like these kind of cognitions actually, Shrikant, yeah, I would say, just look into the channel here that you're seeing right now. There are several playlists. Go to the satsangs of Swamiji. And in those satsangs, just listen to them. Each of them, like from every single Upanishad and every single sacred scripture, like for example, from Bhagavad Gita, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, Guru Gita, like this tons of ancient scriptures, the Shiva Sutras. Swamiji has revived these scriptures, decoded them, and given it to us in the most user-friendly way. So you can enjoy them. Those have extremely powerful cognitions. And what Swamiji was mentioning about was also from the Agamas. So these are the Shaiva Agamas from which Swamiji has taken the powerful cognitions and given it as a book, the Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati, where you will see everything with the Shastra Pramana, meaning the scriptural reference, as well as the meaning decoded for it. So if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and get that book for free. It's available in our website, kailasa.org. John, nice to see your clicks. Glad to see your clicks. John, where are you from? Where exactly are you logging in from? It'd be nice to know more about you. And now let's understand these things more and more inside. See, your brain also affects how you look, affects how you think, how you cognize. And we are going to first understand how much of our brain is actually awakened and active. Do you know that your brain, only you're using less than 3% of your brain right now? Our century's greatest, most intelligent person, Albert Einstein, that's what he said. Even his brain, even in his entire lifetime, he had used only 3% of his entire brain. All of us have mechanical and non-mechanical parts of our brain. So now let's understand about this mechanical and non-mechanical parts of our brain, and how can these non-mechanical parts of our brain be awakened. And even if you all want to ask some questions or you have some doubts, feel free to ask. You can just post it in the comment section and we will definitely be answering them and attending to your questions and requests.
Whenever the powers are downloaded from Kailasa, if your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, it will be easy for downloading and manifesting. For example, if you already know the script of Sanskrit, Devanagari script, when the powers are downloaded, you will get the original verses that Shastra, original sutras also revealed to you. You can, because you already know the Devanagari script. When the powers are downloaded, along with the powers, the Shastra Pramana also will open up in you. Listen carefully. If you know already the Devanagari script, when the powers are downloaded into you, the Shastra Pramana, the original verses technique, the original verses describing those powers, techniques, methodologies, they will also be revealed to you. You can easily just read out and then manifest. If you don't know Sanskrit, Devanagari script, maybe you will, when I initiate, you will get the powers, but you will not get the original Shastra Pramanas. The same way, if you do the deity worship and learn all the artistic things, if you know Bharatanatyam, when the science of yoga is downloaded in you, you will just know completely how that science works on your muscles and builds the body, mind, and how it can manifest multiple other possibilities and powers in you. That is why I am saying, engage with the lifestyle of Paramashiva, Charyapada, like dress up your deity, make perfume for your deity, cook for your deity, sing for your deity, dance for your deity, make jewels for your deity. When you do all that, the non-mechanical parts of your brain will be active. You will be so alive and active. When the powers are downloaded, the whole brain will absorb all the powers and manifest them in your life. See, you engaging active deity worship life is like your brain having large memory. If I talk in the computer language, your laptop having large memory. Then initiation, Guru gives is the high speed internet, highest speed internet. Then you can download any app from Kailasa and manifest it. That apps from Kailasa is power manifestation, powers. All these three are required for successful manifestation of all powers. So lifestyle of Kailasa, initiation from Guru, and powers downloaded from Kailasa. That's it. That's it. You just manifest Paramashiva Jnana and Paramashiva Vijnana. Let me enter into today's satsang. I'll expand on 9th verse of Isavasya Upanishad. Recite along with me. Antam tama pravishantiye avidyamupasate ततो भूय इव ते तमः यवु विद्यायाम्रताः अन्तं तम प्रविशन्ति ये अविद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमः यवु विद्यां याम्रताः. Listen, I'll read out the translation now. Those who worship avidya, the ignorance that veils the true knowledge of truth, consciousness, enter into blinding darkness characterized by the absence of perception, but into greater darkness of ignorance than that enter they who, considering themselves as scholarly and learned, are engaged in vidya, the incomplete knowledge. It should be engaged in avidya, the incomplete knowledge acquired for vested interests, characterized by the impure perception of truth and consciousness. Listen, I'll explain step by step. Listen, I'll explain the key point in this verse directly. Now all of you have done Vakyartha Sadas for last so many days. What is consciousness? What is all pervasiveness? What is without coming and going? What is muscleless, woundless? All these you would have done. At one point, you will feel stuck. It's natural. At that moment, if you decide, it's okay, but I'll continue to dig, you are living enlightenment. At that moment you think, whatever I learnt with that, let me make whatever I need in my life. Like material comforts or luxury, name and fame, it's enough. Who knows more than what I did? Leave it. Then that is avidya. Understand? Listen. Only a person who practiced whatever I said can understand this explanation. But this is the most straight explanation. When you are exploring into consciousness, while you are making your brain subtler and subtler, when the subtler and subtler grooves in your brain is developing to catch consciousness, to reflect the pure consciousness as it is, how can your brain be trained and developed to catch the pure reflection of consciousness as it is? By internalizing, meditating, thinking, contemplating, debating, having Vakyartha Sadas. What is consciousness? What is that all pervasive, beyond going and coming? What is that? The space, nature, action and result. What is that? Which is center of all this? What is that which is muscleless and boundaryless? What is that which is beyond all relationships and association? What is that? When you contemplate, and I tell you, no one needs to become a believer. The contemplation on consciousness itself will make you so sure you are that consciousness. I tell you, when I had the experience of third eye awakening and able to see everything around me, it did not take more than microsecond to know I am that. What a fool that I considered this as me. Please listen. By nature, the highest thing your brain can reflect, it associates itself with that. If you think sex is the highest experience, you associate yourself with that. If you think eating is the strongest experience, you associate yourself with that. If you think Krishna is the highest experience, you feel you are Krishna. If you think Mahadeva is the highest experience, you will feel you are Mahadeva. If you think consciousness is the highest experience, you will feel you are consciousness. The subtlest grooves in your brain develops to reflect the pure consciousness as it is when you contemplate on what is consciousness as guided by the Upanishads. Upanishads are guiding you. Consciousness as no space. It is beyond the space. There is no coming and going. It is the center of space, nature, action, responsibility, result. But it is not bound by any of that. It is center of all that. I am sitting in this chair, but I am not bound to this chair. That is why this chair belongs to me. So anything you are center, but you are not bound by it, is under you, it belongs to you, and you become the center. You are the power of that. Understand, consciousness is the center of action, result, knowledge, responsibility, space, nature, everything. But it is not bound by any of that. When you are contemplating all this, you can see many of the qualities of consciousness is already permeating your life in a smaller scale. In a smaller scale. You can never be without consciousness. In a smaller scale, all that will be permeating your life. But when you contemplate deeper and deeper, it will start permeating in the higher and higher scales. More and more pure consciousness will start reflecting in your brain, in your system. Understand? A person, understand, here no compromise. No compromise. Nothing can come in between you and realizing your consciousness. Nothing can come in between you and your enlightenment. That's the beauty of Hindu tradition. First we teach you to become enlightened, then we ask you to worship. That is what is Advaita Bhakti. Jnanavarishta Bhakti. Because the Advaita gives you the powerfulness and completion. After that your Bhakti You will be overflowing with the God which you created out of your very being. You will not be standing in front of anybody and begging and praying. Prarthana should not be translated as prayer. No. No. Prarthana should not be translated as prayer. The concept we have in Agamas, the reason for worshipping, reason for doing rituals is straight from the space of Shivoham. Actually, the whole Somasambhu Pattati, which is the manual for our Sangha, please understand, Kamik Agama is the Agama for our Sangha. Somasambhu Pattati is the manual wrote based on Kamik Agama, is the manual for our Sangha. Pattadi means manual. The reasons, the yes or no, right or wrong, explanations, everything logically presented to do what to do and why we should do. All this is beautifully presented based on Kamikagama in Somasambhu Pattadi. The manual very clearly says Shivoham is the purpose and the center of this manual. Means by using this manual you will achieve the Shivoham experience. After that, to radiate the Shivoham experience, continue to use that manual. That's all. So nothing can come in between you and you realizing the Shivoham experience.
So beautifully, Swamiji had revealed to us about the power of Upanishads, the context that we have for prayer in Hinduism, and how these awaken the non-mechanical parts of our brain. I hope all of you enjoyed this so far. And if you have any questions or doubts, please take a moment and you can post here. And see, understand, all of us have there are two parts in our brain. One is the mechanical part of our brain, which takes care of majority of our actions. And these things record these patterns in us, like what you are doing. Like, for example, every time when you sit in a certain posture. It's not that each time you're conscious of it. Probably when you're conscious, you might even sit straighter. But every single thing that you are doing, you're not consciously doing it. All these are recorded inside you, in your muscle memory, and you just enact it out. And all these things function with the mechanical parts of your brain. The non-mechanical parts of your brain are those parts of your brain that are not yet awakened. So when those non-mechanical parts of your brain are awakened, then you start experiencing life in so many unique dimensions. What does this actually mean to you? It means that you can decide something and you can actually manifest it out as a reality. It means that you can think way ahead. You will not be stuck with things. You will know how to think through. Your IQ levels will go up. All these things are possible. The very experience, the very quality of your life will transform. Whatever you think as building some kind of positive habits, positive patterns, these will just become like a very easy cakewalk for you. Now, how do we have these non-mechanical parts of our brain awakened? Let's listen to this revelation now from Swamiji. And all those that are interested in experiencing this, take a moment to sign up now to the program paramashivoham.org. Go ahead and sign up.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroganivarakam Vande Papa Vinashartam Nithyanandaya swagatam Nityamuktam Nirvikalpam Jnanaloka Pradipakam Vande Shantamayam Bandham Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandagandha Sancharam Sarvopati Vinirmuktam.
Sada सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् ज्ञानसम्बन्धाचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्.
When your Kundalini is awakened properly through the initiation of an enlightened master, your brain reaches the highest coherence, highest conscious coherence, and your non-mechanical parts of the brain gets awakened. Please understand, your brain has two different parts. Mechanical parts means the parts which are responsible for your function of the heart, the function of the lungs, function of the kidney. These parts are all mechanical. It will be functioning for all the human beings. Whoever is healthy, for all human beings, for all of them it will be functioning. But the non-mechanical parts of the brain, those parts are responsible for the extraordinary powers like telepathy, teleporting, and we call it teleporting the information and teleporting the material.
In India, all possible methods and technologies have been used to awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the potential energy of human beings. In the modern terms, the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Please understand, mechanical parts of the brain are responsible for your breathing, your blood flow, normal body functions, like the liver functioning, simple body functions. But the mechanical parts of the brain are only very small part in your brain. There is a huge part, non-mechanical parts of the brain, which is not awakened in normal human beings. In India, different traditions have tried to awaken those non-mechanical parts of the human brain for various reasons, to have extraordinary powers, to have union with cosmos, to have the ultimate enlightenment itself.
Brain is physical, grass blueprint of your mind. Please understand, brain itself is not mind. It's a blueprint of your mind. I wanted to introduce few of the truths about the consciousness, mind and brain. If I give you an example, sun reflecting on the mirror. The sun is the consciousness. The reflection is mind. The mirror on which, the part of the mirror on which the reflection is happening, that area is brain. Consciousness is sun. The reflection itself is mind. The area of the mirror on which the reflection is happening is brain. By awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain, you create a clean mirror for the reflection to be more pure, reflection to be more true to the consciousness. When you clean the mirror, the reflection, mind, can be more true to consciousness. When you clean the mirror, the reflection
can be more true to sun. If there is a misshaped dust or part of the mirror which does not reflect properly, the reflection will not be true to the sun. So awakening your brain, non-mechanical parts of the brain, and keeping it clean and alive will make your mind true to the consciousness. Making your mind true to the consciousness is enlightenment. If your mind can reflect consciousness as it is, without adding or deleting illusion or delusion, you are living enlightenment. In your life, so many different experiences you go through, so many different parts you carry in your brain. See, one part of your brain is knowledge. One part of your brain is compassion. One part of your brain is violence. One part of your brain is cunningness. One part of your brain is speed with discrimination. One part of your brain is speed without discrimination. One part of your brain is the pure silence. Understand? When each part of your brain is actualized to its complete potentiality, it is self-actualization. If all parts, all the non-mechanical parts of your brain is actualized to its full potentiality, it is called self-realization.
Nitya Kriya, restoring Hatha Yoga to the world. A series of healing yogic processes revealed by Paramahamsa Nithyananda to care and cure for diseases and disorders. Practice Nitya Kriya and awaken your Kundalini energy. To find out more, visit www.nithyananda.org/nitya-kriyas.
Some truths from the field of neurophysiology. It's from a website, yogajournal.com. Samskaras or engrams create mental grooves in the brain like a riverlands in sand that let water run in certain patterns. They say each time we react in a certain way, for example, getting angry, we strengthen the power of the pathway. It's a one truth. It's a very important truth. The more and more you react in the same way, the more and more you strengthen that engram. If you are habituated to fall sick due to any stress or fear, you encourage, you strengthen that engram of falling sick due to stress and fear. I tell you, if you are really feeling stressed or fear or anxiety, do something very active. Either cathartic meditation or kind of an intense weightlifting, activating body. I tell you, you will create a new engram. So whenever fear
or stress happens in you, that whole thing gets converted as energy, useful energy. Instead of that staying in you and making you weak and disease, that same thing can be used as energy. You see, Rajas, when it is added with awareness, can just become part of your life, can be directly useful. If you are stressed, if you have the anger towards somebody, fear, just take it out on weighing machine, weightlifting machine. Just take it out on the gym, or do some intense catharsis process. I have given so many catharsis process from different traditions, Manipura, Shuddhi, Kriya. So many kriyas, the cathartic kriyas are there. Pranayams like Bastrika, Kapalbhati. There are so many cathartic kriyas. Talking in tongues, in Christian tradition they call it glazololia. In Hindu tradition we call it Manipura Shuddhi Kriya. Or loud chanting of Upanishads, Vedic mantras. Take out your anger in these ways. Release your stress in these ways. Release your fear in these ways. You will see, you will be creating new riverlands. You can do 108 Surya Namaskar or intense weightlifting, working out. The samana balancing immediately will convert that stress into energy. Rajas will become energy. Only first few days you need to create this new riverland. Then every time this new riverland will become strengthened. That will become strength. So, as neurophysiologists say, each time you react in certain way, you strengthen the power of the pathway. So each time when the river runs in that same riverland, the riverland becomes more deeper. So the river running in that same direction becomes more stronger, more permanent. Same way, in your brain also you have so many rivers. Ganga, Kaveri, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, so many rivers. Some are wild rivers, forest rivers. The rivers which really creates calamity by the forest flood or sudden floods, you need to make a dam and divert it in different direction. Making dam and diverting it different direction is what I call sadhana. Sadhana means making dam and diverting it to different direction. But unfortunately, we have another one biggest riverland, engraved memory, engram, samskara, laziness, eternal laziness. One of the biggest engram. Biggest enemy for awakening non-mechanical parts of your brain or sadhana or for enlightenment or for achievement is laziness. See, once the laziness enters into your system, nothing can be done. Once you break one or two strong samskaras, you just know, simply you know. You simply know how to break. The science of breaking the samskara is learned. The science of handling your body and mind is learned. So, you will create new riverlands. Another one truth. Neuroplastic science says your brain has the ability to create new grooves and pathways, and the existing ones will heal up and disappear if left on their own.
This is yogaflavoredlife.com website, source. Understand? It's a very important thing. Your brain can create new grooves and pathways. Means the possibility for new life exists. Possibility for becoming a new man exists. Possibility for becoming new consciousness exists. That is what we call initiation. And the existing ones will heal up and disappear if left on their own. They will just disappear if left on their own. Nothing else is required. Nothing else is required. You don't need to do something special to fill the existing river. No. Just make a dam, divert the water, the existing pattern will dry up automatically. Then they will get closed automatically. Scientist Debbie Whitmore says, the science of neuroplasticity focuses on how the brain can rewire itself to forge new connections and break cycles of negative thinking and acting. Patanjali very beautifully says, if you are suffering with particular engram, just create the anti-engram, anti-emotion. For example, if you are suffering with violence, create compassion. If you are suffering with anger, create peace. And feel that it is spreading all over your body. Release that into the cosmos through your every pore. You will see, you will just create new mental setup, new brain pattern as you want. Exactly what Patanjali is saying. Of course, he said it 5,000 years before, at least 5,000 years before. Now the neuroplasticists, scientists are proving it. Debbie Whitmore is proving it. Again, one more report, study done on yoga. The regular practice of yoga is the perfect formula for creating a new deep behavioral grooves in the brain that take advantage of neuroplasticity. Just as I was telling now, working on the body, straight away working on the body, uncompromising way, breaking the laziness system. I tell you, this Padayatra which I took up in my young age, this Parivrajaka Yatra, it has done so much in my system, so much. Because once you start walking in the morning, till evening, even if you are tired, you can't stop because you have to find the next village. Unless you find the next village, no food, no stay, no sleep. And it's a very powerful system. I can tell you, very powerful system. Same way, the morning sadhana should be a padayatra for you. You are not reality, you are potentiality. You are not reality, you are potentiality. We need to work constantly, every day, adding yogic body and Vedic mind untiringly. If one day missed is a miss, lost. See, one of the biggest crime in spiritual practice or in the field of awakening is this laziness. This comes and catches us in such a way you don't even know you are not doing anything. Laziness can be classified in different ways. Laziness out of escaping mentality,
laziness out of fear, laziness just for laziness. See, laziness out of escaping mentality can be healed by greed. Laziness out of fear can be healed again by making you fearless. But this laziness just for laziness is the most dangerous laziness. Most of us suffer with that laziness only. Do not allow that laziness for laziness. Break the body and mind with intensity. You will see the real rewiring of your brain happens. The only enemy, the only reason why we don't rewire our brain is laziness. It is just laziness.
Ingenious! Your child learns and experiences the true science of Vedic tradition. Notice a measurable increase in your child's performance. Daily yoga and powerful meditations. Innovative art processes based on life solutions. Activities that bring Vedic culture to life. For more information and registration, email us at ngenius@nithyananda.org or visit www.innerawakening.org.
Analyze with all the logical doubts you have, because the logical doubts you have are responsible for not awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain. You can awaken your Kundalini Shakti, non-mechanical parts of your brain, trillions of cells, by pranayama, yoga, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, this kind of techniques are deep devotion, feeling connection, surrender to the chosen deity as God through bhakti, are intense, constant creativity without even bothering why you are being creative. It is an extraordinary self-sacrifice. Constantly being creative without even bothering why you are being so creative. If both beings, non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, you will also be constantly settling with your ecstasy. She will also be constantly settling with her ecstasy. Even if you share each other, you will be sharing your ecstasy. Constantly you will be radiating it. Now the metropolitan cities are leading in divorce rate, 33%. And the whole thing has started raising only in last 10 years, after the IT revolution. No, really. No, the reason, these are all the great side effects of the IT revolution, understand. The reason, the main reason is, their routine is not happening after their psychological revolution, understanding. The hardware is forced to do something for which software is not even, forget about training, not even taught. The software does not know why it should do, does not have any justification why it should do, but the hardware is made to do. That kind of routine leads to more and more dullness. So instead of awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain, even the mechanical parts of the brain starts dying. Then you carry the constant depression and dullness in you and you share that only. When you hug the other person, when you touch the other person, you just pour that depression, that dullness. So naturally, you are living together, not together. The dissatisfaction arises. That dissatisfaction leads to all kinds of fight. One important thing, when that kind of a dullness and depression happens, suddenly you will see, you will start feeling like your whole life is doomed. Please understand, all over the world, all mystery schools, all mystical traditions, all spiritual lineages have worked intensely on third eye. The brow center is cosmic browsing center. Please understand, now in a browsing center you can upload or download any information you want. The brow center is a cosmic browsing center. You can access, download, use, send any information to and from cosmos. The cosmic archives is directly available. You have access to it. You have possibility of experiencing it. I am not promoting some theories. Please understand, I am talking something which is tangible, I can say much more tangible than what you think as tangible. Reality than what you think as reality. In yesterday's section, I was telling the 21 different logic, independent logic functioning in your system. Different independent logic functioning in your brain. When you try to be idiotically consistent with one logic and go on denying, depressing, suppressing other parts and other logics, you suppress and do not allow the non-mechanical parts of the brain to be awakened. Understand? The non-mechanical parts of the brain in your system is responsible for extraordinary experiences and powers. You can send and receive messages to anybody, anywhere in the universe. You can attract right people towards you or send wrong people away from you. So the first 14 years, kids living in a place where more people have awakened or working on awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain will do so much good which cannot even be told by words. just living. See, accessing the cosmic information center is not like a technique need to be taught step by step. Just if the kids know, wow, this kind of a person, extraordinary intelligence exists, that's all they need to know. That conviction is the internet access, that's all. Now the information which I said, that like this I had access to the information which was not fed to me through the eyes or ears. If they know that, that's enough. Their sixth sense, the balance, will just get awakened and will start functioning, and you will see in few days they also start expressing informations which was never fed to them through through the hearing or seeing. Over. I am opening up a great new possibility. Our Gurukul system is nothing but awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain, that internet access. That's all. Ordinary education system, the Western education system, the book-based education system, the information education system, information-based education system, teaches you how to use your brain as a computer, personal computer, PC. But N-based education system, the Gurukul system, which I am creating, teaches you how to use your brain, use your computer as the internet access system. When you awaken the balance, the sixth sense, with a simple reminding you, it is your inborn tendency, innate intelligence, nothing else. You are with it, just do it. You'll see the kids will start using their brain more like computer with internet access, where the informations are available which is not fed through that computer. Any information, any knowledge created at any time in the planet Earth is available. All you need is plug the internet connection and know that you can access and download and process. Whenever you think any high level thought, one non-mechanical component, non-mechanical part of your brain gets awakened. It's a truth. Any higher truth you contemplate or clicks with you, a non-mechanical parts of the brain gets awakened.
Kundalini is the potential energy which you carry inside you. If that energy is awakened, naturally, automatically the non-mechanical parts of your brain will be awakened. The awakening of the Kundalini is a very powerful process. Very powerful process. Many methods, many techniques, many traditions talk about this. One important thing you should know, with a living master, this awakening the Kundalini is very easy and safe. Without the living master, it's like a working with medical books and experimenting on yourself. Whatever is said and done, you cannot directly experiment with the medicines after reading few medical books.
Dial the avatar. Paramahamsa Nithyananda answers your questions live during the daily morning satsang every day at 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. We invite you to directly talk to Swamiji and receive his blessings for your life to be filled with bliss and all the auspiciousness. Dial the avatar at 918027279999 extension 129.
When you have particular set of understandings and live your life with that understanding, disciplines expressed by you with that understanding, automatically you release a kind of energy. It is a scientific fact. When you have particular kind of understanding and live your life based on that understanding, when those understanding express as a kind of a discipline in you, that lifestyle releases an energy in you. It's a very clear scientific fact. Any disciplined life, when it is lived, releases energy in you. This energy awakens the non-mechanical part of the brain. Understand, I'm trying to express exactly what happened in me or what is happening in me. When you have a strong clarity and understanding and live a life based on that understanding, a kind of a discipline arises in you which is unique and your own. Understand, I am not saying morality. Morality is when you try to generalize the discipline, it becomes morality. No. I can say customized morality. The true morality starts happening in you. It releases a tremendous energy inside your system. That energy awakens the non-mechanical part of your brain. When the non-mechanical part of your brain is awakened, your body is incapable of receiving that new awakenings. That incapability and the new awakening, when it starts gelling with each other, what happens is what I call bliss. When you have particular kind of understanding, a revelation or a click, that understanding, when you start organizing all your thought and activities based on that understanding, a kind of a beautiful morality or a beautiful discipline starts happening in you, which will be unique to your system. That discipline releases a tremendous energy. That is what I call psychological revolution. That energy release awakens the non-mechanical parts of your brain, means the awareness usually other beings will not have. These great truths and understandings land on you. When you carry them in you, you will suddenly fall in tune with the cosmic constitution. And falling in tune with the cosmic constitution awakens a unique discipline in you. Continuously your thinking process comes back to that understanding, to that clarity, to that revelation. You are applying that thought, the understanding as a key in every situation. that releases a tremendous energy in your system. That energy awakens the non-mechanical parts of your brain. You will see as if your whole brain is alive. Because of that, you will feel the whole body is alive. Your earlier hardware, earlier body is not directly capable of accepting the new expression, the new energy. When these two are trying to settle with each other, what happens is what I call ecstasy or bliss. Bliss is a byproduct or side effect of a new psychological revolution trying to settle in your system. And one more important thing, because continuously the understanding takes you to the higher and higher heights, as long as you carry the body, continuously you will be feeling the bliss expressing, the bliss exploding. Continuously it will be like an excitement. These understandings are so powerful, they do not leave you in between. They do not just become dull. Understand? If you start the spiritual practice or the spiritual discovery, and more and more and more it is opening new doors. This understanding is such, even if you don't listen to me physically, that understanding, when it is applied every moment in the life, will be opening, revealing new things. Will be opening and revealing new things. That is why the initiation given by an enlightened being is so alive, it will be keeping you constantly exciting. If that same words uttered by unenlightened person and you try to work with that, those words only creates rituals. With enlightened person, even rituals are exciting, new. So many new things are discovered. So wonderful. It's like a intense ecstatic journey. The energy and happenings are the side effect of the awakened, psychologically revolutioned inner software trying to settle with the hardware. One important thing, the hardware, the more and more it settles and lives with that software which is awakened, it becomes more and more intelligent and capable of experiencing the joy. That is another beauty. It becomes more and more capable, sensitive, intelligent, and it opens more and more possibility to experience and internalize that ecstasy, that joy. Mind is not wild, uncontrollable as you are constantly taught or as you constantly think, understand. Because you try to create war with yourself, the fight with yourself, you go on feeling mind is uncontrollable. It's like you try to pull your own shoes and fly. When you fail 2 times, you think the flying is impossible. Flying is not impossible. Flying is possible. The process you are using may be wrong. The method you are using may be wrong. There's a very beautiful enlightened master, alchemist. Not only master, alchemist. Alchemist means who can transmit enlightenment through medications, through medicines, through herbs. Siddhas. He writes continuously verses calling the mind as my inner ghost, my inner ghost. When I read the verses, I realized it's a very powerful technique. Actually, whatever problem the mind creates, he gives solution for the mind verbally, keeping the mind outside as a ghost. He says, oh my inner ghost, listen, this is the truth. You may think it's a play, but I tell you, just try this. Such powerful process. Whenever you have a problem, of course you have always, just get into your room or place where you can sit and talk to yourself, where you will not be in a trouble or mess for talking to yourself. Because in the society, you can't talk to yourself openly. So find a place and clearly visualize that your inner ghost, your mind is sitting in front of you, and talk, verbally answer the problem. You do not know the power of this method, process, technique. Don't feel shy, don't feel timid, don't feel disturbed. Verbally tell your mind, hey, this is not the problem, this is not the solution, this is the problem, this is the solution. You don't know the power of uttered words. See, the words which are going on inside you, till they pass through the vak, they will not be clear, stable, recorded in your brain. So all your problems, if they have the power of 66%, the uttered words will have the power of 100%. So when you utter a word towards your mind, suddenly so much of clarity will happen. Your mind will just settle down, keep quiet. It's like a baby, it's like a child. All you need is a simple friendliness with your mind, and sit alone. Tell clearly your mind the solution for your problem. Just start talking to your mind, nothing else. Sit and tell your frightened, greedy mind, whatever the mind is feeling, hey, this is not the truth. You know. If you don't know, better now you know. This is going to be the solution. This is the way it is going to be. Let us face it. Let us live it. Let us go through it. Let us be. Clearly, verbally talk. By the time when you talk, you will have the clarity. Either you are having the problem which is not there, or you are overacting, or at least you will be clear, you don't know the solution for some problems you have. So that you can concentrate your energy only on those problems. You don't need to be wasting your problems on all, your energy on all problems. Many times, till you utter, you will be thinking the same problem morning, evening, noon, every time. And you would have found the solution 10 times and you would have forgotten the solution. Again, you will not know that you already found the solution, you will be reinventing. Reinvention of the solution itself takes away your so much time. Once you sit and talk to your mind and tell the solutions you found, it will be recorded in the non-mechanical parts of your brain. Your mind will not ask that same problem. Anything, when you utter it clearly to your mind, it gets recorded into your system so strongly, you will remember very clearly you already invented the solution for it. You don't need to rethink, go through the same groove and reinvent the solution. The verbal communication with your mind will make many things clear in you. And this is what I call taming the mind.
Putting all my trust in you, 'cause you know it's best for me to lead a blissful life, a life with no more strife. I can't believe the things I do, just to spend a little time with you. Nothing will compare, I know you will take care.
You're always showing us compassion. Your love is endless like an ocean. Nithyananda, Nithyananda. My life's become a meditation. If this is we had a deep connection. Nithyananda, Nithyananda. Oh, every time I see you, my senses expand. Oh, I begin to dance. Every time I think of you, I start to melt, take you back.
Montreal University researchers found evidence that practicing the centuries-old Zen meditation, sitting, Zen meditation, can reinforce a central brain region that regulates pain. Through training, Zen meditators appear to thicken certain areas of cortex, and this appears to underlie their lower sensitivity to pain. According to MRI results, the central brain regions that regulate emotions were significantly thicker in Zen meditators compared to non-meditators. Just witnessing, nothing else is required, just witnessing. Just witnessing can make this happening in your system. What the scientists are saying, the central brain regions that regulate emotions are significantly thicker in Zen meditators. Just witnessing can make it thick. Nothing else is required. Go on witnessing, witnessing, witnessing. Witnessing will lead to unclutching, unclutching will lead to witnessing. Being a sakshi, being a witness, will naturally awaken your Kundalini Shakti and non-mechanical parts of your brain. That is what these researchers are proving with scientific evidences. It's a very great revelation. Breaking yourself free and open all dimensions is what is the sacred secret you need to learn in this sutra. And automatically you have such a deep, devoted, grateful, gratitude-based connection towards the center core of your personality, which is the higher self, God. Some of the important truths not only need to be understood, need to be experienced. This multi-dimension, you should start experiencing. Just start trying to do some quietly. You don't need to worry about proportion, just trying. Try different dimensions. 64 hours. All the 64 hours are 64 dimensions of you. Even a normal man, to be a perfect human being, should be able to express 64 dimensions. But as a mystic, you should be able to express at least 180 dimensions. When the non-mechanical parts of your brain is awakened, you will be perfectly radiating at least 180 dimensions. So try to express the multiple dimensions. The natural energy which controls you inside all your multiple dimensions. You will have a beautiful relationship with it. You will experience the ultimate experience being a yogi.
Awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain, awakening the Kundalini Shakti just by giving understanding to you. I can say one of the most difficult path, if you have to do it by yourself, one of the most simple path, if an incarnation is there to do it for you. Understand? Opening the non-mechanical parts of your brain, awakening trillions of cells in your brain, awakening your Kundalini Shakti, just by deeper and deeper and deeper understanding about the existence. If you have to do it by yourself, it is almost like having a matchstick and trying to measure the whole world through the matchstick. The moment you awaken one cell and go to the other cell, this cell is already sleeping. Let me exactly define what is awakening. The experience which you carry about you, that I exist, should function through that part and connect with the reality. Understand? So what you think as you, that individual self, should function through all trillion cells and relate with reality. This is the exact definition of awakening. Now, if the Pratyagatma Chaitanya, the individual consciousness, is functioning through the eyes and relating with reality, already the tongue is sleeping or slipped into falsehood. If that is relating through the skin with the reality, ears are sleeping or slipped into the falsehood. Understand? Any part in you, any cell in you which is not connecting with the self and the reality, which is not being bridge for these two, is either sleeping or slipping. all sleeping is slipping into falsehood. For example, now your ears are functioning, eyes are functioning, but if you are not completely aware about the changes you are experiencing in your skin, the skin part is not in reality. That cells are in falsehood, slipping into falsehood. So, you are not completely enlightened. All trillions of cells connecting with the self and reality means all three are in tune. This experience is what I call inner awakening. If you have to do this by yourself, impossible. Try. By the time you keep your eyes alive, open, awake with reality, of course, even if it sees, it is not seeing the reality, because there is so many layers and layers and layers of mist and dust. A man who can lie through the teeth, knowing he is talking something different than what he knows or what is or what he thinks or believes as is, will never be able to even realize the depth of falsehood in which he is slipping into. This path of understanding, Jnana Yoga, nothing, just sit in his presence, listen, listen, listen. Through every understanding, he opens various parts of your brain, non-mechanical parts of your brain. The inner awakening happens. And he awakens your Kundalini just by giving you deeper and deeper understandings, nothing else. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 0974220331. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nithyananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.